Hi, it's January 17th, 2026. We're entering Lincoln National Forest. This is between Artesia, New Mexico, and Alamogordo, New Mexico. Excuse me if I said Mexico. New Mexico. We're getting into the foothills of the Sacramento Mountains. Up at the top is Cloudcroft. It's a alpine village, and there's skiing up there, camping. During the summertime. It's a place to go when it's really hot down in the lower elevations. Subscribe, like, make some comments. I'm gonna do some of the videos as I drive, so it might be shaky. You know how that goes if you've watched some of my other videos. Sometimes I stop, sometimes I just take shots as I'm driving. So here we go. We're in the foothills of the Sacramento Mountains, west of Artesia, New Mexico, headed west on Highway 82. Now, I was down in Carlsbad, New Mexico. Went to see Carlsbad Caverns, made a video of that. And I was planning on just going north up to Roswell, New Mexico, where the aliens supposedly landed or crashed. You've heard about Roswell, New Mexico, but ran into a couple of young men as I was parked overnight in a Walmart parking lot, and I got up and getting ready to go again in the morning. Had Sam out in the parking lot, hooked up to the van so she could kind of walk around and had her food and water. And I heard these guys outside the van, and they were playing with Sam. So I was talking with them, a couple of young men. They were there to clean up the parking lot, as the company they work for cleans up lots and whatnot. And told them what I did. They immediately subscribed to my channel. It was very nice of them. But they suggested, I told them, subscribe, like, make comments. And so the guy made a comment right then. He said, go to Cloudcroft, I think. We'll see it here in a while. So when I got to Artesia, which is about halfway between Carlsbad, New Mexico, and Roswell, headed west. So we're going between Artesia and Alamogordo, and at the top is Cloudcroft. So it helps when people make suggestions. I would have never known to go this way. It's pretty drive, and we're not even up in the mountains. Yeah, I mean, we're in the foothills. So let's just drive along here for a little while, and Sam's laying down here next to me between the seats of the van. She seems content. And we're getting up into the mountains where the evergreens are. Down in the lower lands of New Mexico is all scrub brush and cactus and very few trees, no grass. But getting up here into the mountains, we're getting into the evergreens. saw a sign there that said congested area next 5 miles, so you might see a few cars. This is the little town of Mayhill, New Mexico. Got a country store and a cafe. There's a church up that road. And that was Mayhill. This is the kind of traveling I like. 2-lane roads in the back country. Well, this isn't the back country. I mean, it's a main highway. But it's not an interstate where you're just zipping by all the beauty of the land. Nice to see, to go check out some of the major attractions in the larger cities. But I could just drive through this kind of country for hours. Well, that's what I'm doing. And I'm taking you along with me. I hope you're enjoying it too. Hope you're enjoying my other videos. Ears have popped a couple of times already. Coming up into the mountains. Just starting to see some snow. It is the middle of January, but it's also New Mexico. So it gets snow, but it doesn't get a lot of precipitation, doesn't get a lot of moisture. So the snow, as you'll see, is in the shadows mostly. Gets out in the sun and it just evaporates pretty quick. Melts and evaporates, whatever. Disappears. sign there with a picture of elk on it saying next 5 miles. I don't expect to see any elk, but when they put a sign out, this is where they generally cross the road in the general area. Alright, this is the Cloudcroft village limits, and that's their ski area. Most of that snow is probably manufactured, because looking around, there's not a lot of snow up in the trees. But there's a bunch of people out there. Looks like some people taking some skiing lessons, and I don't see anyone coming down the mountain yet. It's called Ski Cloudcroft. 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 Museum in Pioneer Village. A good-sized elementary school. Right next to the high school. Family Dollar store up here. Barbecue. Brother-in-law barbecue. There is a gas station. And there's motels, there's cabins to rent. And camping all around, of course. Alright, we're at 8,650 feet. If you're not used to the mountain air, you'll find yourself yawning quite a bit. There's a lack of oxygen. Not so much that you're going to croak. We're going down a 6% grade. Speed limits dropped to 35 miles per hour. Beautiful country. Fun road to drive. Glad the young men in Carlsbad, New Mexico suggested this drive, because I'm enjoying it. There are trails to hike up here, if that's what you enjoy doing. Of course, there's skiing. And if you just want to come and look at the beautiful scenery, which is what I'm doing. The road's pretty curvy. Truck ramp, 1 mile. If you are not familiar with what that is, you might be from New York City and never been out in the mountains, or down in Louisiana, down on the flatlands, never been in the mountains. If a truck's coming down the mountain road like this and their brakes go out, I mean, they can slow using their gears, but if they've got a runaway truck up in the mountains, they provide runaway truck ramps, and you'll see it here in a little bit. When they get to it, you know, I'm sure their brakes are out. I'm sure they're freaking out, but they're downshifting and going as slow as they possibly can. Truck ramp, and what they do is they just shoot off on it, and it goes up a hill and stops them. suppose if you're in a car and your brakes go out, you can use it too. We're coming down. My ears are popping. I'm yawning. We're going from about 8,600 feet elevation. We're going to end at Alamogordo, which is about 4,300. So what is that? 4,300 feet we're descending in 10 miles. So your ears are going to pop and you're going to yawn. Another thing, if you're not used to mountains, being up in elevation, the air is drier, so that's why you need to be drinking water. If you start getting a headache, feeling kind of queasy, that's altitude sickness. Drink some water, have a little bit of caffeine perhaps to help with your headache. But water is what you're needing. Sugary soft drinks aren't going to help. Coffee might help a little bit. It's going to be water and some caffeine. But what you need is water. Going through a tunnel. Got another runaway truck ramp in 2 miles. You can imagine you're driving a truck and your brakes go out here, you've got 2 miles to negotiate twisting, turning roads. Down gearing the whole way. beautiful expanse out there. White Sands National Monument. That's what you're seeing out in the distance. All that white. It's not snow. It's white sands. Truck ramp. Well, that really goes up there. I always wondered if your brakes went out, you go up the runaway truck ramp, you get to the top, it stops you, and then you start rolling back down. What stops you the other way? I guess that's where you just jump out. Turn the wheels of your truck so it runs into a big rock or something. I don't know. It's a steeper grade going down than it was coming up because my ears keep popping. And here we come out into Alamogordo, White Sands, Holloman Air Force Base. This is where a lot of space stuff was researched out here in the desert. 80 years ago. This is the atomic area of the United States. We're going to go up to Alamogordo and Alamosa. This is where they tested the first nuclear bomb. This is where it was developed. And back then, there was nothing there. They built it just for the scientists. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We're gonna bring it to an end now. Be sure to subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Hit that like button, notify button, make comments. I really appreciate comments. And come back and watch some more videos.